Taylor, can I have a hug? Oh, you're so pretty. I go to her school and visit. Because she loves everybody.
They go dialect. I thought you talked about wings. You need another accent.
Okay, check, like check. Like check.
Actually, get your fingers out. What you say?
Good evening. The time is 7:05 p.m. and I would like to call the Monday, November 10th, 2025 meeting of the Southampton County School Board to order. We have all 9 of our members present, so we do have a quorum. The agenda was included in your board package, but I do need to add an item to the agenda. Under number 8, matters from the board, I do need to add item C, which is the external research policy. So under number 8, you add a C, external research policy. Is there another board member who needs to add an item to the agenda?
Yeah, Dr. Goodwin, I have a couple of items to add. Under matters from the previous meetings, I would like to add 2 items. One, a follow-up for the superintendent on the public report from the Board of Supervisors.
Say that again now.
A follow-up on the public report from the Board of Supervisors. And 2, Committee on Transparency and Accountability. And then I have 2 items for closed session. One is a student matter, and one is a personnel matter.
Can you give us more detail about the personnel matter?
Yes, I'd like to discuss the superintendent's performance.
Okay. So we need to add J under the closed session, which is a student matter. Okay. Which is the superintendent's evaluation. Is there another board member who needs to add an item to the agenda tonight?
I would just like to add to number 8, matters from the board, an update about the cross-country.
Update about what?
The cross-country team.
Okay. So we have a D under number 8, cross-country team. Is there another board member who needs to add an item to the agenda?
Dr. Whitman,
Yes.
I also need to add a personnel matter under closed session.
Okay. What is this regarding?
If it's okay, I have to say the person's name in open session.
You don't have to give me a name, but you need to give me a context. I mean, is it,
Performance.
who's performing? Is it a principal, superintendent, or,
Central office
pardon me,
employee. A central office
a
employee.
central office employee? Is there another board member who needs to add an item to the agenda tonight? So do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended? We have a motion by Ms. Lane,
Second.
a second by Ms. Bunn to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The minutes from our October 13th meeting were included in your board's packet. Are there any corrections to those minutes? If not, then the minutes stand approved as distributed. We're now down to recognitions. Every school board must require its school board members to participate annually in high-quality professional development at the state, local, and national levels on ongoing governance pursuant to section 22.1-2753.13.5 of the Code of Virginia. This governance training may include, but is not limited to, personnel policies and procedures, evaluation of personnel, curriculum and instruction, the use of data and planning and decision-making, and current issues in education. Virginia law does not specify how much training school board members must get each year or what constitutes the required development. It's been the policy of the Southampton County School Board to use attendance at Virginia School Board Association events, whether it's a conference or a webinar, to satisfy this requirement. So tonight, the several school board members have in their packets recognitions from the Virginia School Board Association concerning participation or completion of professional development. But your information, it's in your packet. So we're now down to other recognitions. Our board believes in and supports and celebrating student success. The Student of the Month program is one way that our division recognizes students for their academic performance, for the positive character trait demonstrations, and other extracurricular activity performance. So with that said, Dr. Shannon, the floor is yours.
Sure, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our November the 10th school board meeting. Our Student of the Month program, again, is a program in which we recognize students who have demonstrated outstanding achievement, leadership, and character, setting a positive example for their peers and making our school community better as a whole. We will start with Mrs. Devonda Gary, the principal of Capron Elementary School, and she'll be the first principal to make her recognitions to the students.
Good afternoon, Dr. Goodwin, Dr. Shannon, and school board members. The first person I would like to recognize tonight is Ms. Takara Ford. Takara is a 5th grade student at Capron Elementary School. She was nominated by her teacher, Mrs. Reza. Ms. Reza, according to her teacher, she is a wonderful asset to the class. But may I also add that she's a wonderful asset to our school. She is considered to be a great role model, always on task and able to problem solve when necessary. Takara Ford. Our next student is Trayden Boone. Is also a 5th grade student at Capron Elementary School. He was recognized by his teacher, Ms. McDonald. Trayden is math and science, which is his math and science teacher. She states that Trayden continues to work hard and listen, and he refuses to give up. Trayden has also joined the CES flag team and has taken on the new responsibilities with ease. And may I add, Trayden is smiling in his picture, and that is just such a wonderful thing because it is hard to get a smile out of Trayden. One more, please. Come to Trayden. Trayden.
All right, next we have Mrs. Susan Fowler representing Maharan Elementary School.
Good evening, Dr. Shannon, Dr. Goodwin, and the board. I am here to represent our Maharan Students of the Month. I do know one student that wasn't able to make it tonight, but I still want to recognize Camden Kelly. Camden Kelly is one of our fabulous fifth graders. Camden joined our family in third grade, and he has certainly shown a lot of responsibility as a fifth grade student. His teacher nominated him because he always stays on task. He's ready to solve any problem that comes his way. He is a friend to all, but I would like to add he's one of our Maharan student representatives. He stays at the front door every morning and greets all the students who come through our door. He's willing to take all of our little eagles back to their classroom along with a whole group of students. So Camden has really come out of his shell since he's been there, so we wanted to recognize Camden Kelly. I'll be excited to do that. So my next Maharan Eagle that I want to shout out is Mallory Fowler, and she is here with us. So Mallory, come join me. So Mallory was nominated by her teacher, Ms. Barnes. Ms. Barnes wanted to point out that Mallory is a hardworking student. Her friendliness and willing to lend a helping hand make her an excellent role model for her peers. She goes above and beyond in her work, demonstrating commitment and kindness that positively influence the classroom environment. And it was so much to write that I couldn't even type it on her Maharan Student of the Month, so I'm excited to be able to say it out loud. And we are so proud of Mallory. She's a fourth grader. She's come through and she has really shown that leadership, so I cannot wait to see what she has to offer us this year and as a fabulous fifth grader. So Mallory Fowler.
All right, next we have Riverdale Elementary School, Mr. Paul Key and Mrs. Amisha Warren. All right, and they will also be presenting for Mrs. Susan Street for Nottoway Elementary School as well. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Shannon, members of the board. We're going to present Nottoway's first. Can we have Chad Jordan to the podium?
Woo woo.
Chad's teacher says he always has amazing manners and is always working hard in fifth grade. Chad Jordan.
All right, our next recipient from Nottoway is Lachlan Stevenson. All right, Lachlan is being recognized tonight. He's a first grade student at Nottoway Elementary School. He's being recognized for always doing his best and being a great role model student at ADS. Congratulations, Lachlan.
Now we will be presenting Riverdale. Can we have Nora Ricks to the podium? Nora is a first grade student at RES. She was nominated by her teacher, Ms. Keach. Nora has adjusted very well to first grade in a new school. She is a kind friend and a hardworking student. She is a model cardinal.
Our next student is, congratulations, Nora. Our next student from Riverdale is Annalise Barnes. Annalise is a kindergarten student at Riverdale Elementary School. She was nominated by her kindergarten teacher, Ms. Kimberly Turner. Annalise is a role model and always willing to lend a helping hand. She is kind to others and always uses good manners. She is a hard worker and strives to always do her very best. She's a model cardinal. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Next, we have Southampton Middle School, Dr. Mark Barfield, Mrs. Tiffany Madison, and Ms. Jasmine Galloway.
Good evening, Dr. Shannon, Dr. Goodwin, and esteemed members of the board. Mrs. Madison isn't here tonight, so I'll be presenting 6th and 7th grade this evening. So for 6th grade, first off, we have Mr. Bryson Pooley. He demonstrates Indian pride every day. He comes to school prepared to learn and always gives his best effort. He is respectful towards teachers and classmates, setting a positive example for others. His actions reflect integrity, even when no one is watching. He stays determined when faced with challenges, showing perseverance and grit. Most of all, he remains engaged in learning, participating thoughtfully, and encouraging others to do the same. We're proud to recognize him as our first 6th grade student of the month. And our next 6th grade student of the month is Miss Jenna Hayden. Jenna is also a shining example of Indian pride. She arrives each day prepared to succeed and always goes above and beyond her work. She is respectful to everyone she meets, spreading kindness and positivity throughout our school. Her strong sense of integrity makes her a trusted and dependable student. She approaches every task with determination, never giving up when things get tough, and she is fully engaged in class, eager to learn and contribute. Her dedication and character make her truly deserving of this honor. And for our 7th grade students, first we have Brooklyn Schwartz. Brooklyn is intelligent, caring, and a conscientious student. She asks thoughtful questions and always does her best. Additionally, Brooklyn is always willing to help her classmates and is an excellent teammate. She spreads positivity in the classroom and beyond. And next we have Mr. Bryson Booth. Bryson is smart, kind, and hardworking. He embodies Indian pride by coming to class prepared and being engaged in learning. His math teacher shared that Bryson is a helpful classmate and his dedication makes teaching a joy. Congratulations. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, board members, Dr. Shannon, the community at large. It is my distinct pleasure to recognize the class of 2030. So I'd like to start with Logan Calabria. Logan. Mr. Bradshaw stated his civics economics teacher, I'm recommending Logan because he demonstrates an outstanding balance of academic excellence and athletic commitment. His positive attitude, leadership, and determination make him an excellent representative for Student of the Month. Also, I'd like to add that he is respectful and he is an honor student for the first quarter. Logan Calabria. Also representing the class of 2030 is Ms. Kelsey Davis. Kelsey was nominated by Mr. Muhammad, her Algebra 1 teacher. Kelsey completes assignments, participates actively. She stays focused and uses her time wisely. Also, I would like to add for the first quarter, she is on the principal list. She is respectful and she's a model student. Kelsey Davis.
Jafar Baraka, principal of Southampton High School.
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, Dr. Shannon, esteemed board members, parents, and community members. So in the spirit of Dr. Barfield representing the classes of 2030, I'd like to represent the class of 2025. So we have two seniors that we'd like to recognize for this evening. So I'm proud to report we have two fabulous seniors to recognize for the month of October. And our first senior is Mr. Keontae Chapel. I don't think Mr. Chapel is able to make it this evening. Keontae has stood out this year as one of our most improved students. His teachers and admins report that he has found a new sense of commitment to his classwork, staying out of trouble, and he has matured a great deal over the summer. His main focus is to finish strong and graduate high school this year. We are really proud of his forward progress this year. Keontae Chapel, class of 2025. And our second senior for this evening is Rhea Hutchins. Rhea is our student council president and helped lead the homecoming activities, which included hallway decorating, competitions, spirit day, homecoming court, homecoming dance, tickets, and the related themes. She led a great group of kids in these activities for a safe and fun homecoming at Southampton High School. Rhea is also a dual enrollment student, a part of our academic clubs, National Honor Society, Beta, along with being an integral part of CTE as a local, regional, and state officer for FBLA. Just last week, she helped get the new year of teams ready for regional competition. Rhea is a true Southampton senior. Rhea Hutchins. I gave her Keontae, I'm sorry. Thank you.
So Dr. Shannon, can you continue with the staff recognitions, please?
Sure. Next, we have our Employee of the Month, and our Employees of the Month are also recognized for their dedication, hard work, and positive impact on our schools, as well as in the lives of our students. And Ms. Hutchinson, would you please come to the podium and recognize those employees?
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, Board Chair, Ms. Lane, Vice Chair, Dr. Shannon, our esteemed board members, and our amazing community. It is my pleasure to present the Employees of the Month. First, representing Cape Elementary, we have Dr. Muriel Artis. Next, representing Capron, we have, we should have Ms. Andy Gary. Next, representing Meharon, we have Dawn Wise. Also representing Meharon, we have Amanda Council. Representing Nottoway, we have Ashanti Boone. Also representing Nottoway, we have Brittany Stevenson. Representing Riverdale, we have Austin Overstreet. Also representing Riverdale is Shania Phillips. Middle School, we have Scott Edwards. Also, representing the middle school, we have Deborah Bynum. Southampton High School, we have Kevin Howell. Also representing the high school, we have Standa Grant. The Transportation Department would like to recognize Carrie Kirkland. Food Service Department would like to recognize Valerie Mason. From Central Office, we would like to recognize Rachel Vogue. Also representing Central Office, we have Roberta Bowman. And I do think it's important to note that Ms. Bowman was instrumental in those beautiful frames that you saw at the Hall of Fame. She was very helpful with that. I just want to point that out. Thank you. Thank you.
So we certainly want to thank the parents for bringing your children out tonight, and we want to applaud the students for all the work that they do and for helping make Southampton County Public Schools great. We also want to recognize and thank all the staff members who are recognized tonight. Without you, Southampton County Public Schools would not be the great school system that it is. We'd like to pause now so that Ms. Key can take pictures in the foyer. She usually likes to take a picture of all the students together and then a picture of the staff members together. So if you would make your way to the foyer, we would appreciate it. If you'd like to come back and stay for the remainder of the meeting, you're certainly welcome to do that. But if you want to say goodnight at this point, you can do that too. We do understand.
Y'all can relax. Okay, it's already free. This here. That's what we're That's what I said, Trey. I love you. Stop. That's nice. Was it Latin? Yeah. I just want to stay for the meeting. I knew it did. I love you. I love you. That's what going on. That's my grandbaby.
So we're now going to move into the public comment period of our meeting. Although Virginia law does not require us to hold a public comment period, the Southampton County School Board chooses to do so because we believe it's important for us to hear from our community members. We do value your comment and recognize the importance of receiving that public input.
Thanks, Dr. Goodwin. The first item I wanted to bring to the board was to repeat a motion that I made at the end of last meeting, and so I'll read that in its entirety. I would like to request that we ask the superintendent to research and report back to the board on the following items. Review the record retention policy against the schedule for the Library of Virginia to ensure that our policy and procedure aligns and upholds the schedules provided within it. Review purchases made utilizing the PBIS grant funding with particular focus on workout equipment and massage chairs that were purchased for staff use. Provide the board with justification for these purchases and/or recommended remedies if these purchases did not align with the grant funding. Review grant management procedures in the division and provide a recommended future state that includes a centralized office that has oversight of grant seeking, grant authorship, grant reporting, and grant record keeping. That should include collaboration with our school finance officer to ensure budget line items are appropriately adjusted and expended in accordance with grant requirements. Review the entirety of our Teachers for Tomorrow program funded by VCU. Provide a report on how that funding was utilized and the relevant documentation to support the same. If there is no documentation, I'd ask that we would interview current and former staff to justify expenditures of those funds. Provide an explanation for the termination of the Hampton Roads Workforce Development Council grant as appropriate. Provide a plan to ensure current and future funding opportunities for this grant and how they may support initiatives in our division. Provide a recommended update to policy and procedure for fulfilling FOIA requests made to the division that ensures the division is able to adhere to timely and appropriate responses to requests. These updates shall include recommendations to the staff. On the staff, the division will make available to fulfill requests and a standardized cataloging of all requests received and the dates they were fulfilled. Consider how that can be made routinely available to the board and to the public. That's my motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Rogers. I have a second by Dr. Tyndall. Any discussion on the motion?
So I would rather that we break them apart. I don't want. I don't remember everything that was said.
Okay, we probably need to break them apart. But also, Mr. Rogers, as you know, our legal counsel is working on a response to that board of supervisors, that report done by the attorneys for board of supervisors. So as you know, some of this information will probably be included in that report that's being prepared by our legal counsel. So I don't know how you want to proceed, but you do know that that is in progress.
I'm not aware of what our legal counsel is preparing. I know that we've got an updated closed session on it. I don't know what they're going to prepare. I do think that we provided records that led to a response or an interpretation from the Board of Supervisors attorneys that these records were missing. And I think that we have a duty to respond to that and show where we have record keeping or where we can make changes to improve some of
Mr.
it.
Rogers, I'm pretty sure you were in closed session when we agreed that Dr. Shannon was going to present all of that information to our legal counsel. Am I the only one who remembers it that way? That Dr. Shannon is presenting response to those items to our legal counsel, and she has done so.
And if I could speak, one of the things that I had hoped for was that we were going to table those motions until we had the full report, because I think an important word that you just said was a response to the interpretation by their attorneys. So right now, this is all based on the interpretation of what somebody has done, which we have not seen the actual information that they made that interpretation based on. So prior to responding to somebody's interpretation, I would actually like to see the data. Once we see the data, then I wholeheartedly believe that we need to respond, and that if there's something that needs to be addressed, we need to address that. But for me, it seems like we're not prepared if we're responding to an interpretation of someone else.
Any further discussion on the motion? Is there a call for question? Oh, Ms.
I was just going to say, I'll respond to your question that you asked, but I don't recall it that way from closed session last time.
Okay. But for clarification, then, our legal counsel is working on a holistic response, not taking, one item or two items, but Dr. Shannon has submitted documents to our legal counsel. She's completed that process, and our legal counsel is in the process of looking at that material now. Because it is a legal matter. And we know that it's a legal matter because the Board of Supervisors, as late as the last meeting, indicated that they're still trying to seek criminal charges. So it is a legal matter. And I think that we do ourselves a disservice if we talk about it in pieces, because we're going to end up in court. Because even though that report that was prepared by the lawyers for the Board of Supervisors said that there was no wrongdoing, no legal wrongdoing, the Board of Supervisors are still seeking criminal charges, as they reported at the beginning of their Board of Supervisors meeting a couple of weeks ago. So it's a legal matter.
Dr. Goodwin, I know that in the closed session we had discussed requesting the entire report. Have we gotten that?
According to our legal counsel, they have received the information from the Board of Supervisors. They have received the information from Dr. Shannon.
So our plan then is to pay our attorneys to read through the tens of thousands of pages in that report to help us.
Just like the Board of Supervisors pay their attorneys to read through thousands of pages of documents, it is our plan to pay our attorneys to read through that and to prepare and present a report on behalf of our board. I think that we need to remember that the Board of Supervisors did not present their report. Brian Thrower didn't present the report. Their attorneys presented the report. And I think it's in our best interest for our attorneys to present our report, to prepare and present our report as a corollary to what was presented.
Do we know when they'll be doing that?
In December, the end of the year.
And Dr. Tindall, I don't know that they would need to read through every piece of documentation that was presented, but certainly the ones that were brought up and their interpretation was provided, then I would like for our attorney to go back and look at the data that interpretation of that specific thing was based on. So within their interpretation, if they say based on such and such and such, our attorney should be able to go and see that actual information. So I don't know that they're going to need to read every piece of paper that's submitted, but certainly the ones that were a basis of interpretation.
Which I understand, but the pieces of information that were referenced in that executive summary was information we gave them. So we shouldn't necessarily need to have our attorneys go back and look at it again when we're the ones that created those documents.
We gave them the information they requested.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is we could have, for example, the information that they had about the person who came forward to say that the money was not misused when they had to do the addendum. We already knew that answer. But we gave them the information they asked for these records, we gave them to them. But did we know that this was a match from an employer? Yeah, we knew that. I mean, the school system knew that. But that wasn't a requested document. Therefore, it wasn't sent. But I think Mr. Smith had something to say.
Yes, the report from the beginning, not the executive report, but the independent investigation.
That was not independent.
It was not an independent investigation if the people that the Board of Supervisors was paying did the investigation. Whoever pays for the investigation of consultants get the results that they want.
But Ms., you want to break down the components for Ms. Hobbs?
I'd like a copy of it.
I did pass that at the last meeting, but it's also reflected in the minutes from the last meeting because I gave a copy to Ms. Artis. You're welcome to have this piece of paper if you'd like.
So any further discussion on the motion? Are you ready for the question? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The motion fails for lack of a majority.
And again, I would just like to say, my vote is not reflective of us not needing to respond. My vote is us needing to be informed, well-informed, and make sure that we are responding appropriately. I had hoped that we would table the motion until we had that information, but if it's brought to vote, then we don't have any choice other than to vote yes or no. So again, my preference would have been to table it until we had the full information.
And that was my preference. I know that we remember that in the closed session, I supported receiving the information, but if I'm in a court case and I have an attorney, but I don't listen to my attorney's counsel, that's called ludicrous. So we need to make sure that we're paying attention to what our attorney said. The attorney said, squash it, don't even speak on it yet. That's what he said. But yet we're trying to speak on it.
If our attorneys received information that we didn't receive, that's the same information that I'm asking for, then that's also a problem.
Why?
Because the attorneys are representing the school board and our actions, and now I'm working on less information than our attorneys are working off of. And the attorneys do work for us.
But the reason we hired the attorneys was so that we wouldn't have to go through all the documents ourselves. But I'm sure that if you want them to follow, you can file. I'm sure they would, do so. And I think that, for me, I do believe that we need to respond to the report. I wholeheartedly believe that the school board has to respond to the report. But I think that the way to respond to the report is to have our legal counsel provide one report so that we can have something that's analogous to what the Board of Supervisors presented. So that it's not us sitting there saying, this is what we did. The Board of Supervisors didn't have their members to just say, we looked at this, we looked at that. They didn't have Brian Thrower to present. They paid a legal team to do it. And I think that the only way to respond to a legal document is with another legal document. And that's what we're in the process of doing.
But the motion, regardless of what the Board of Supervisors did, we can still ask for clarification on those documents, whether they were presented in the executive summary or not. I don't see that that's an extravagant ask for the superintendent to provide those documents to the board members. One doesn't have, I just don't know, it just seems like we're hiding something by not providing the board with that information.
Because we're not asking the superintendent to respond publicly. We're asking for information to the board members. Like Mr. Rogers said, we don't have the information that our attorneys do. And I understand that we need to listen to our legal counsel, but it's the equivalent of going to court and your attorney knows something that you don't know when you're sitting there as either the plaintiff or the defendant, whoever you want to call us, and your attorney knows things that you don't. No one would do that. So if the information is going to the attorney, it should also be coming to us. They work for us.
We're not going to. Well, the motion failed, and I think we just tried to clarify that nobody's trying to hide anything that we do, that the school board will have a report, but I think that was just a clarification.
So the other piece to that, though, is in asking for the information, are we going to get that information anyway without creating additional work right now to have the superintendent send us something that we're waiting for from the attorney? So in my mind, some of it seems duplicative, and again, once we have the information, then sure, we may need additional, we may have other questions. Right, if
CC does.
Right. Dr. Goodwin said Dr. Shannon had already shared that information with our attorney, so why couldn't it have come to us? We're not duplicating any efforts, we're not asking for anything extra.
Well, let me rephrase what I should have said. Dr. Shannon presented information to the attorneys. Now, whether specifically what Mr. Rogers asked for, I can't speak to that, but what I do know is that Dr. Shannon provided for our attorneys the information that our attorneys requested that she provide so that they can prepare a report. So perhaps I should phrase it differently.
So this is totally separate. So is there no procedure for when things like this happen, like when she provides stuff to the attorneys that the rest of the board is not privy to that information? Just in general?
Let me check with the attorneys.
Thank you.
You know, because again, I'm not sure, but I'm sure they would be willing to send it to you, but what end, I don't know. Why? When we came down through it. You had a second item, Mr. Rogers?
A shorter motion this time. I'd like to ask that the chair appoint a special committee for the express purpose of enhancing transparency and accountability within our division. That committee should include representation from the board and the superintendent or her designee in addition to others as may be appropriate, and that the committee should consider opportunities for improved sharing of information through technology platforms, procedural guidance, and district-wide training on FOIA and community relations.
No motion from Mr. Rogers. No motion by Mr. Rogers. Second by Dr. Kendall. Any discussion on the motion? So your ask is to have a committee, an ad hoc committee that looks at.
For the express purpose of looking at transparency and accountability within our division.
Would you be, well, we have a motion on the floor, but I would really appreciate your giving me time to look at how that would look to write up, as we have done with ad hoc committees, to write up the responsibilities and, use that format that we use for other ad hoc committees and bring it back in December to look at before we take action.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected you to take action yourself tonight. I do think that the board should vote on whether or not we believe that's an appropriate committee or not for you to look at them.
But I don't know how the board can vote on something I couldn't vote on it until I see written down what the committee is, what it's going to do, and how it's going to report. So I need to better conceptualize what this committee would do, who would be on this committee, and what the product would be. So I would like time just to,
It is the same recommendation I had last month. I'll just state that.
Right.
If you need another month, I mean, that's your prerogative.
Well, I do need a month just to put it in a format that shows what the format that we use for ad hoc committees, so that it's something that people can read and look at.
Can't we just, we're voting whether we need it or not, and then once we decide that, then we put together what that looks like.
But for me, I'm only one vote, but I can't vote on it until I sort of see what it looks like and see what this committee would do that's not already being done. Are there other corollaries to this that we can use as a model? I need time to sort of digest what you're asking for. So
what kind of example can we get from Mr. Rogers? What you're looking for?
What was that, Mr. Smith? Can you give us Mr. Smith is asking one example, Mr. Rogers.
I don't know how to be clearer than I was in the motion.
No, but I guess he's asking for a specific example of what you expect this committee to do.
I think one thing would be to look at the way that we engage or survey our public stakeholders. Another thing might be, how do we present our meeting minutes and the stuff that goes along with our board packets to the public ahead of meetings. Those are simple things that this committee could look at, and the best way to do that for our community.
We do have a motion in a second.
So then maybe the motion could be revised to say that I'm speaking for Mr. Rogers, so if he would agree to it, maybe the motion could be revised to say that we're making a motion to explore the development of the ad hoc committee, who would be involved with it, what the responsibilities would be, and then we would be able to look at that and say, is that something that we want to move forward with? But I think, I understand him saying we want to put forth a motion that we start that progress, but we would certainly need to see what would the responsibilities be, what would we expect as the goals, the outcomes, and who would participate. But I think it's okay to put forth a motion saying we want to explore that and bring back in December a potential of what that committee could look like and what the responsibilities.
However, that's not the motion.
Right, and so I guess that's.
I'm happy to amend the motion that we would ask that we explore the potential for such a committee, what its goals would be, and who may be willing to serve on it.
So we have a revised motion on the floor, and the revised motion is to explore the establishing a transparency and accountability committee. Was that the revised motion, Mr. Rogers?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you second that motion? Who seconded? I heard a second. Dr. Kendall did a second for that motion. So that's the motion currently on the floor. Any discussion on that motion?
So how will we do that? How will we get that information together between now and the next meeting so that we're not sitting here discussing it again in a circle in December? Like, will we meet?
I would propose that the chairperson would work with the superintendent to devise a written document.
I feel like it's something that we should all work on.
Well, but you gotta start with the draft. I mean, but to me, you have to have something to look at. So if we bring in a draft, you can certainly revise the draft, you can work on it, but at least you'll have a working document. So I would propose that, the superintendent and her staff, would bring in some kind of working document for us to look at, and we can revise it, we can update it, we can do, we can work on it, but that would be a start.
I don't agree. This is a motion from the board, and
okay, so who do you suggest, right?
I feel like that we should, one or two people, or the whole, like a work session, and do it together, where,
We have a work session this month.
Well,
Can
we have a work session coming up on November 24th.
So can we have the draft ready by then so that we can discuss it at that work session?
But Ms. King is saying she doesn't want a draft. She wants us to sit around in a circle and write it together.
I think it'd be good to start with a draft, to have them propose that we have a work session coming up. So to me, the time to do it would be if we could have it together by the work session, then that would give us time to then look at it, give feedback, input, and see if that is what is being envisioned.
So, I mean, I think it's possible to have a draft, but again, I really think that, one person, two people can write the draft, and then at the work session, you can do whatever you want with the draft, but it's a starting point. So we do need to, any further discussion on the motion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I abstain. So one abstention and and now down to action items. The first action item is the financial report and payment of bills.
Yes, Joy Carr is on her way to the podium.
Good evening, all present tonight. If I can bring your attention to the preliminary expenditure report for the month of October. Our local operating budget for the current year remains at $35,877,931. Our expenditures through October the 31st total $7,307,807.47. This leaves us a balance of $28,570,123.53. Please note that as of the date of this report, 20.37% has been expended from the operating budget. Also included in your packet is a revenue report for the month of October. This shows revenue received from all funding sources, which includes $7,247,077.34 from our local, state, and federal funds, and $215,525.57 from food services. Also included in your board packets tonight is the final categorical expenditure summary for FY25. As noted on the categorical report, the books were closed by the county on October 16th. Just a reminder, we're a component unit and part of their accounting system, so we don't close our own books, so we wait on the county to do that. So therefore, this report is being provided after that closing date, and the balance for the local operating budget was $9,790.73. We spent 99.97% of our operating budget. Now, we are currently in the midst of our audit, and so normally they wrap up the audit by December, and it's possible that that report may be available by the Board of Supervisors meeting in December, but I don't know if it'll be available to us by our board meeting in December. Also, the October bill list has been attached to the agenda for the board's approval tonight. Are there any questions?
Do we pay BEA dues for faculty and staff members?
No, they pay for themselves through payroll deduction.
I just have one question, Ms. Carr.
Yes.
So our operating expenses in total so far are $7.3 million and some change, right? And our total revenue is really the sum of food services plus the grand total on this report, which would make us about $7.45 million. Is that correct? So we're just above water right now at this point in the year.
Right, but what you have to realize is that the county, we get, is that like $11 million from the county, over $11 million.
And that's available to us?
They don't appropriate that until the end of the year. Okay. So, but if you were to divide that over the months, you know, we would be in the black.
Okay. Just making sure, I want to make sure
how
thin our margin was, that's all. Thank you.
Sure.
Additional questions for Ms. Carr?
I make a motion that we approve the bills as presented.
Have a motion by Mr. Rogers.
Second.
A second by Ms. Lane to approve the bills as presented. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
We have several use of facilities requests. Dr. Shannon.
Yes, the first use of facility is from Ms. Elizabeth Taylor from Bryan's Baptist Church, and they're requesting to use Southampton Middle School's auditorium and cafeteria on March 21st from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. for a community cancer awareness event. No admission will be charged for the event. They are a nonprofit organization, and they are requesting that the fee be waived. The total for the event is $1,030, and with the fee adjusted, it'll be $103. The second event or use of facility is Janet Joyner of the Franklin Southampton County Fair Committee, and they're requesting use of Southampton High School's auditorium and some of the classrooms on December the 7th, 2025 from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. for a Christmas pageant. They state that they too are a nonprofit organization and are requesting a fee waiver. The total cost for their event would be $1,160, but with the adjusted fee, it would be $116. Yes.
I see that the insurance is pending. I've never noticed insurance pending.
What happens is sometimes they don't purchase the insurance until they're sure that they can have the event. Now, what I will add is that the Franklin Southampton County Fair, they are actually charging a $10 admission fee. Most of the nonprofits don't really charge it. I just wanted to make sure. So I would recommend approval if they could present their nonprofit paperwork. A lot of times it's attached, but it's not attached. But if they certainly are indeed a nonprofit, then yes, I would be consistent with what I've always been when it comes to nonprofits.
Motion to approve. We approve the use of facilities. A motion by Ms. Lane, a second by Mr. Scott to approve the use of facilities request from Bryant Baptist Church and the use of facilities request from Franklin Southampton County Fair. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We're now down to the superintendent's report, and Dr. Shannon, the first one is instructional report.
Sure. We have Kelly Gillette, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction. She is approaching the podium, and she will talk a little bit about the Virginia Literacy Act, professional development, Title I family nights, and then some of our Title I dates to remember.
Good evening, Dr. Goodwin, Dr. Shannon, board members, all present. Thank you for having me. I do have the November instructional report. And right into our Virginia Literacy Act updates. All of our balance testing is complete for grades K through 8. However, 4 through 8, the state has not desegregated the data yet, so we do not have that. But we are finished with the testing. Our student reading plans are complete for grades K through 8. We have parent involvement with those. We've received feedback from our division literacy plan, which was very minimal. All they asked us to do was make sure we put the updated plan on the website, which we are doing this week and submitting in due time. Our regional literacy partnership reading coaches that have been assigned to us, Ms. Stephanie Presley and Natalie Rose, will be hosting a Zoom training session for elementary and middle school administrators and reading specialists on November 17th, and have a little bit about that here too on the second PD slide. On October 31st, we conducted professional development with our high school, middle school, and elementary. At the high school, we looked at Edmonton courseware, and this was teaching teachers how to use Edmonton courseware to strengthen their lessons, how to use it with creating anti-story sets, guided practice, independent practice, to give more weight to their lessons. We also looked at HMEP, H-Reading, our core reading program. The middle school and the elementary had Edmonton Exact Path for math, looking at the results for the data. Our elementary SPED had Spire training, but not just with the program, this was how to use the platform which the students have been tested. And then on November 3rd, another half day that we had, our middle school and elementary, they looked at the STAR math, the computer adaptive screening data to interpret that data per student. Also, they participated in the Renaissance Next for Leaders, and what that is using the Edmonton STAR Renaissance platform, which is a dashboard, and you can pull up the student and it has all the reading information, all the math information right there to make plans with the students. It's a great program. And I mentioned what we were doing on the 17th of October, the 19th of November with admin and K through 8 teachers, the data conversations with our STAR reports. Oh, there it is. Our Title I annual fall parent meetings, we had that at Capron, Maharon, Nottoway, and Riverdale. And we are required by the BDOE to have these parts included in our meetings, which include giving the parents the rights under ESSA, what it means to be a Title I school-wide school. We explain the parent, school, and student compact. We give copies of the SOLs. We show the parents how to look up the BDOE, look up the standards learning there as well, how to look up the school's report card from the BDOE. We talk about resources that are available for the parents to help them with those standards or help them with, at all with anything they need at home. We also shared information on the Virginia Literacy Act. And these are just some pictures for you to enjoy. Of course, It always happens in October, which falls near Halloween, so we get to put that into our celebrations as well. And I think the teachers and admin had as much fun as the kids did. As far as our testing information, as I mentioned, all of our VALS testing for K through 8 is complete. We just don't have all the data back. Our STAR reading testing is complete, but we received the professional development on how to unpack that data to implement it per student. All of our VDLB fall growth assessments for 3 through 8 for math and reading have been completed. The writing SL at high school has been completed, and our second opportunity for the writing SL for our term graduates will be completed before December. And that's the instruction report. Do you have any questions?
Yes, Ms. Judge, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Our international teachers are having issues that require additional professional development to improve their classroom management. Other issues that I'm hearing from the community and citizens in the community. What additional programs, professional development, do you have planned to improve their transition or acclimation to the classroom?
Well, currently this year, we have had ongoing professional development. I have met at the middle school and high school along with my teammate, Rachel Dole and Alger Nichols. We have sat down and gone through plan book and lesson design, classroom management with the international teachers one at a time and also in small groups. And that's for everybody, but specifically for the teachers that are in need of it. Also, Ms. Hutchins has some new teacher roundups that she does, and she includes the international teachers in that as well. So they are receiving support individually and as groups on their specific needs.
How often are they receiving some type of support?
Yes.
Often?
And some need more support than others.
Okay. So how often are they receiving the support?
Well, I am present at the middle and high school almost every day. And if I'm not there, Rachel's there, and Mr. Nichols is there all the time, either at middle school or high school as well. And like I said, Ms. Hutchinson does it once a month as well.
Do we have a log? We keep a log of.
I have a log that I keep with observations that I do and things like that. And the PD, yes, I have all that written down.
What, they have specific responsibilities. Number one, they teach. They teach, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they should have the responsibility of teaching. Say, for instance, you're a special ed teacher. They still have the same responsibilities as a special ed teacher.
Yes, yes. They have their own classes, their own group of students that they're responsible for. Say at the middle school, the reading teacher, 6th grade. She has half of the 6th grade teachers, students come through her. She handles her lesson plans, her grades, her content, behavior and everything herself, just like a non-international teacher.
But I'm hearing reports that the international teachers are not doing what they are supposed to be doing as far as IEPs, following them and implementing teaching practices where they're supposed to be doing. I need you to investigate that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that will be a team effort with, like I said, special education and myself, HR, and looking at those. And especially with our administrators, because they're great with, they go in classes almost every day. They're observing as well and checking lesson plans. And they give me feedback. And also with Mr. Nichols, he's actually the one in helping with classroom management. He's created expectations from the teachers to go all over the classrooms as well.
Our international teachers, I know the ones that are in the division I work in, they are provisionally licensed. They can write IEPs and, provisionally licensed or licensed. Can our international SPED teachers licensed or provisionally licensed so they can write their own IEPs?
And as Tanya can catch that.
Our presidents have to say it's been, but some of them not all.
So if they're.
As Dr. Dillon stated yesterday, that some of them are, and we actually have international teachers right now enrolled at PBAY, taking the SPED off course, which will allow them to.
So that just means a licensed teacher is having that additional responsibility of collaborating with them to write their IEPs. Yes.
It's a collaborative effort, yes.
Those questions that we're giving the Mr. Gillette, we can ask the superintendent to work with Mr. Gillette to make sure that these things are done. We as a board cannot ask her directly to do these things.
Any other questions, Mr. Gillette?
I had an admin question. What part of that, or originally, did we purchase that, or mention, like, part of it, like, what parts did we purchase? Have we purchased?
Yeah, the courseware and also study hour as well.
And math, but
And math, we have, this as well, courseware for that. Thank you.
All right, next we have Mr. Russell DeBuck, who is here representing HES. I think at the last board meeting, some concerns were raised regarding building cleanliness, and so, you know, like the leader is here tonight to kind of tackle this head on and let us know, you know, what progress has been made. So thank you.
Good evening, board, Dr. Shannon and Southampton community. Well, thank you for having us tonight. We just wanted to really review our program so far. And as we had mentioned to you in the very beginning, this would take a year to get it to where we need it to be, where you want it to be. But what I'd like to do right now is introduce the people who make that every day, Chris Rammer and Dr. Hunter. They're the managers for your program. They do a great job. And we'll talk about that. So what we're going to discuss is what it was. What did you have before we started back January, February of this year? What it is today, and then what it will be. So we can go to that next slide. I appreciate it. Is that up here, or who would have the clicker? Oh, there. Sorry. Okay. So just what it was. I just want to remind you of what we were up against. First of all, let me just share with you something. This is very personal for me. Ahead of Veterans Day, if there are any veterans here, I'd like to thank you for your service. My father was killed in Vietnam. My mother raised 3 boys by herself, but she didn't do it by herself. Public education really helped her. We had coaches getting us to practice, and teachers getting us to school, teachers spending hours with us after school tutoring us. So really, without public education, I don't know where me and my 2 brothers would be. So it means a lot to me. So it matters that we give you a good program and we do a good job for you. It matters to me. I'm a 25-year resident of Virginia. I live in Amelia. I'm right down the road. So this matters. It's personal. So when we first started, we were given a budget of $2.5 million. Our price came in a little bit under that. We weren't trying to meet the budget. We were just giving you the price for a good program. That's what you were running the program with back then. So this is what it was. You had $2.5 million. Shortly before there was any award done, which actually ended up being canceled, we found out that it was reduced. Your budget was reduced by $700,000, which meant you wanted a better program for $700,000 less than what you were doing the program for yourself. And by the way, what did that program look like? You had 1 facilities maintenance person. When I say facilities maintenance person, I'm talking about HVAC, electrical, plumbing, handyman, painters, those type of positions. You had 1. You now have 7. You didn't have any managers. You now have 2. You didn't have any corporate support or regional support. You didn't have corporate recruiting. You didn't have regional recruiting. You had 50% of your custodial staff absent. They weren't here. They weren't filled. Cleanliness was a big concern. I remember seeing these locations a year ago, and while we're not where we want to be, they're much better than they were. There was no quality assurance program, there was no technology, there was no performance assessment. There was decades of deferred maintenance. And I don't know if that's because the county doesn't fund you, or I don't know who funds what, but you have decades of deferred maintenance that we're trying to catch up on. You have decades of incorrect floor procedures. Floors have not been handled correctly, probably for decades. I don't know that for sure, but based on the appearance, I would say for decades. So number 7 and number 8 were well beyond what we expected. So we got a little bit behind on the custodial work. But what I will tell you is the facilities maintenance portion of our program is doing extremely well. If you talk to Mr. Melby, he'll tell you that. He'll say your facilities maintenance program is great. Custodial still needs some work. And that should have been the headline. Not that we have a lot of concerns about HES and we want a divorce. And I say divorce, because it's kind of like that. We don't want a divorce. We're partnered with you. We want to do a good job for you, and we truly believe we can help you. And that's why we wanted to partner with Will and your school system. Because we knew we could help Will take some of this off his plate. We knew we could help your school system get a better program. And by the way, it's $700,000 less than what you were doing before. So I just wanted to remind you where you were. Here's what it is today. We already talked about that. The program is much better. You've got standard operating procedures. You've got quality assurance programs. You've got technology. You've got a recruiting platform. You've never been this much. You've never been staffed like you are today. And I heard a comment about the benefits. There's no way for us to match state provided benefits. It's not possible. So there is no document. There is no verbal communication. There's no presentation that says we would have provided state-sponsored benefits, because we can't. That's absolutely impossible. Our team has plans in place. We're working closely with Will Melby to take care of some of the floor work that is way behind from many, many years. That's probably the biggest problem we have from a custodial aspect. There are some other minor things, like some of the restrooms getting trashed during the lunch hours. We need some help there. We need maybe some monitors to help us with the bathrooms during those breaks, because we can't keep them clean. The kids go in, they trash them, keep them, go clean it, they trash it. So we need some help in changing that behavior. So we're going to give you a great program, and we feel like today you have a great program. It's not where we want to be with custodial quite yet, but facilities maintenance is. We feel like it's exactly where we want it to be. And we want to have a partnership culture. We don't want to, every time we have an issue, to talk about divorce. We don't want a divorce. We want to be with you all for a very long time. We want to give you a great program. We know we can do that. We have 11 other school systems in Virginia. There's not a single one that would tell you they would not do business with us tomorrow. Not one. Call. I'll give you all the contact information. Did we get there in 9 months? No. If you talk to Powhatan, it took a year and a half, because there was so much we had to overcome. But if you call Powhatan today, they will tell you they're extremely satisfied. And for those competitors who want to call you and say, hey, look, we saw some news that HES may be stumbling a little bit, tell me who it is, because I can give you 30 accounts where they switched to us and they're much happier. So just be wary of that. So what it will be is, will be a great program. We have plans to have everything where it needs to be by January 1. We're committed to that. We'll make that commitment. So what I want to do is just conclude by saying facilities maintenance is where it needs to be. Custodial operations is close. We'll have it there by January 1. And I just wanted Dontre to kind of explain why you can't get this done in 9 to 10 months. Dontre, do you want to tell them real quick the importance of that?
How y'all doing? My name is Dontre Hunter. I graduated from Franklin High 2011. And it's an honor to actually be working for the county. I never thought I'd be in a position like this, but God works in mysterious ways. My issue is the 10 months comment where we can't eat an elephant in one day. It takes time to build something perfect, and it's just not the custodians that make a school great, it's everybody. It's teachers, it's students, everybody makes the school great, not just the custodian. So, for example, when it comes to bathrooms, we have bathrooms logins. Every 2 hours, our custodians go to the bathroom. So if I clean the bathroom at 10 o'clock and one of the board members or anybody comes in the bathroom at 10:10, that doesn't mean I didn't clean the bathroom. It's just we need to have people, monitoring the bathrooms a little better throughout the day, which we have tons of pictures, tons of logins. We have a live document with me and my director where we keep our document live, where we can actually show y'all how bad they be trashing the bathrooms. It's very horrible. But as far as 10 months, when it comes to the floor situation, when we got here, y'all had decades of wax on the floor. So it takes time to bring that wax up to get it where it needs to be. If you look at these floors now, they're a lot better than it was at first. Bathrooms been power washed, they've been painted over. We're doing the best that we can, to try to make this place better place. But again, it takes more than just a custodian. You know, it takes the whole county to put the school system back together. So hopefully we can continue to work together. Like he said, I don't want to go nowhere. I want to work with you guys. I want to be able to, you know, make this thing a better place. And I feel like so far we have done that. The only person that I knew that was perfect was Jesus Christ. So it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better. Thank y'all.
So what I'd like to do at this point in time is open it up to questions. Again, we're here for the long haul. Hope you are too. Any questions?
Questions, comments?
I think you all are doing a great job. We have some people in our county that consistently complain. It is what it is. We find things to complain about. Nothing in this world is perfect, but I thank you all for your efforts in trying to make it better.
Thank you.
Well, which one does it go around to all?
Well,
these guys.
And how
All the time. Actually, you talk to some of the principals that are here down there, they're involved. I actually deal with the custodian directly, and for me, I don't expect supervisors or anybody to sit back and watch their custodians. I actually work with my custodians. They'll tell you. So I'm on the job all the time, hands-on. Principals here can actually vouch for me that I go and clean all the time for myself. So I don't just watch people act.
And many of us have been custodians. I was a custodian in 1977. I was a custodian for Graniteville Mill, who was a textile company. Our CEO was a custodian for University of Tennessee. So we know this is a tough job. We know it's hard to get people and keep people in this position. But the key there is really to find good people who want to support a school system, who like that environment, and who like to be respected and treated well. And we do respect our teams, and we do treat them well. And if you ever hear that's not happening, call me. Dr. Shannon's got my number, Will Melby's got my number, call me. I don't believe that'll happen. As a matter of fact, we have a lady, Ms. Martinez, who has been promoted from a district custodian 3 times over with our company, is now regional manager. So we want to promote our teams. We want to help them move up. You know, we can promote them to other school systems. Suffolk is one of our accounts. I'm not saying we're going to take them to people in Suffolk. I'm just saying there are other opportunities with our company that we want to help people get, in management and otherwise. So other questions?
Yeah, I've got one. Well, first I want to say I also got a note from one of our teachers here at the high school that said things are really good here at the high school. So I want to recognize something nice.
That email from.
Well, I'm not going to give up. But no, it was a good email.
Well, good to hear.
When you get good stuff, you have to say that stuff too. So that was nice to hear. I think one of the questions I had was if there's something that a staff person, a student, a parent notices that they are like, this could use a little bit of effort, is there a way for them to communicate easily to you guys how they do that? And maybe if you could just talk about that quick so that it can be on the record of how they go about that.
So we communicate with principals regularly. Like they have their numbers, they have ours. We also have emails and things like that. But also a lot of those things, if it's immediate concerns, if they can't page a custodian right there and say it's like, hey, your math needs some attention. We have the mention up there, the CMMS system, which is our centralized work order system. So that's mainly geared towards your facilities maintenance needs, you know, your light bulbs, your HVAC, all that stuff. But it also has custodial tablets under there to where if something is there, we can put it in there, schedule it, address those concerns as needed, and try to follow up. We've also instituted, so we've been doing it since the beginning, but report cards that we give out to principals where they grade us on different categories, whether it be floors, classrooms, bathrooms, things like that. And we get those results as well. Anything that's deemed borderline, we address with them immediately and try to render.
So if I had a student or a parent that reached out to me, I'd say, your best contact's building administrator and have them reach out to you guys.
Yes, that's probably the best way to go. Sorry.
No, that's cool. That's a good explanation. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it would be very helpful for us if you do get complaints from the community to get that in writing from them, like an email. So we have the specifics and we can address that. And we'll address it right away as soon as we get that information. We're very responsive. So if you find we're not responsive, you let us know. Other questions?
Additional questions?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
We appreciate the hard work that you're doing, and we appreciate the partnership, and we look forward to continued partnership with those boards.
Yes, ma'am, no divorce. It's gonna get better. It'll get even better. Thank you so much.
Down to student enrollment, Dr. Sherman.
Yes, student enrollment, yes, and teacher attendance. So student enrollment, we have 2,235 students, and including our preschool students. So we have 2,362 students. And then looking at the attendance awards, the student attendance award goes to Nottoway this month at 98.37%, and the teacher attendance award goes to Maharan this month at 96.15%. Around the clock.
You have school calendars included with your documents tonight. Please look at those and attend events as your schedules will permit. I think attending events will give us an opportunity to get to know faculty, get to know parents, and to just get in the building. So to the extent possible, attend events as your schedules will permit. So we're now down to matters from the board. The first one is Mathematics Regional Government School. I think that should be the same.
Good evening, everyone. I am the representative for the Mathematics Regional Government School, and we met October the 9th. Some of you may not know that Petersburg is in the process of building a casino. And off Wagner Road, and the city of Petersburg has an initiative to beautify the school and everything that's in Petersburg, if you must know. So it's underway by the city, so ARG is in compliance with what the city wants them to do, so they are beautifying the school. A couple things that they're beautifying the school with: they are putting a roof on that very, very expensive school. They're also painting the exterior windows. There's an alumni house that they have for visitors who come down, graduates want to stay for a while. So they're replacing the porches and painting the roofs of their alumni school. The operation of the school, some of you may not know that the regional government school does not have lunches inside the school. They contract out. So they're in the process of renovating the kitchen for the future, and that project is going to cost between $40,000 and $50,000. And an anonymous donor has contributed $25,000 already. RGS does not have public funds, so therefore they're counting on donations. Once this renovation is over, the school plans to hire a full-time person and a part-time person for additional support in the school's cafeteria. They are also adding one course. The school currently has 7 AP courses, and we'll add an additional AP biology. The extra course will give students more choices for increased rigor on college transcripts. Lastly, tuition will start going up in FY27. FY27 per student, $9,250. FY28, $9,750. FY29, $10,000. The next board meeting will be in January. That is my report.
Questions for Ms. Lane? Comments? Thank you, Ms. Lane. Welcome. We are scheduled to have a board work session on November 24th. So I take it that we do want to have that work session. That date is still working. Remember when we reorganized in July 1, we said we would have a work session every other month, so that we're scheduled to have a work session on November the 24th. And that the work session is at 6 o'clock as opposed to 7. So we'll have a work session. So that was just a reminder, basically. Item C is the extended research, external research policy. we had a person to request to do external research in one of our schools. And that made us realize that we do not have a policy or a procedure pertaining to external research. And because we have neither a policy nor an operating procedure for conducting external research, then the decision of the superintendent was that we would not approve any external research going on in our buildings until that was developed. So that was the, that's where we are. We can discuss it more, but the idea is that if persons want to do, let's say, research for their terminal degree, and they want to use our facilities or our buildings or our students, localities who participate in that, who approve that, have a manual, they have a process. It's not just one person going to the principal saying, can I come in your building and doing this? Most districts would have, let's say, like a district-wide committee. It would be a process that's planned, that's thought out, that's written down, so that people know what that process is and know how to go through that process to apply. I had talked with the superintendent, and that was the reason that the position right now is that we're not accepting or we're not approving external research to be done in the buildings, and we do need to develop a policy. We need to develop the operating procedure for allowing individuals to use Southampton County Public Schools as a research topic. But I'd like to know your thinking about it. That's the background of what I wanted to talk about under C.
Dr. Goodwin, we do have policy JHDA in our policy manual, but it doesn't govern certainly what was asked in the one that came forward to us. So I think that could be the basis for where we start, because it does reference things like, and this is mostly pertaining to if there was to be research for kids or things like that. It does give us the outline of maybe a committee that would review these types of requests, et cetera. So we probably could start with JHDA as a basis, and then we can use that to expand on for some additional policy process.
I agree, but we need to develop a specific external research policy and operating procedure.
Can we look at the possibility of a form, kind of like the idea that we use for facilities use, that has, that they've gone through the review with their school and kind of use a form like that?
Yeah, and it has to be more than that, because I think that we have to have accountability on our part too, which means that when we set up that form, not only does it have to be approved, I would think that we need our own district level committee that would look at these research proposals, and our own district-wide committee that would monitor and make sure that everything, that we're complying with our interim policies in terms of human subjects, in terms of making sure that we're not infringing on the time of our staff, to make sure that we have the consent forms in place. So there's some things we have to do on our part, and I think that would be spelled out in that operating procedure. So, any additional comments, questions? Okay, so we're down to D, Ms. King.
Yeah. I would like to add, we recognize the students of the month, but can there be, like a time throughout the year that we recognize this, like fall sports, winter sports, and spring sports? Because the girls cross country, they were the Tri-Rivers district champion, and then the boys were third, and then their coach was the Tri-Rivers district coach of the year, and 2 students made it to state. I think that's like a pretty big accomplishment for our cross country team, and I think that deserves recognition.
Thank you. So pursuant to section 2.2-3711A 1, 2, 7, and 8 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, the board upon a motion and a second will convene in a closed meeting to consider the following matter: classified and certified personnel appointments and resignations, non-resident student application requests, inter-district student requests, student discipline report, to receive legal advice concerning the report, resignations, appointments, retirements, like I said, non-resident applications, intra-district applications, administrative discipline review, and then 2 legal matters. After the closed session, the board will return to this area to take any necessary action on the closed session. In closed session, we also have superintendent evaluation matter, the central office employee evaluation matter, and another student matter. So do we have a motion and a second? So we have a motion by Ms. Lane, second by Mr. Smith. So the board will convene in closed session, but we'll come back to this area to take any necessary action that might come up. So we're going to the bounds of the library. Okay, so we're going to the bounds tonight, I believe.
You